What is going on, everybody? Showing up the king, the one and only, and I'm here today to bring you my review for Naruto Manga Chapter 621. Before I get started, I wanted to just let you guys know this has probably been the first manga review I've done in about 2 to 3 weeks. I had been experimenting with some other kind of videos, just doing different, broadening my subscription base a little bit, and it's actually worked. I've been tracking my new subscribers at a rate of 50. Every time I get a new 50, I mark it down as another milestone for me. I'm not one of those big guys that get like thousands of subscribers in a matter of days, but for me, it's a pace that I'm happy with, and I'm almost at 400 total, which is a huge accomplishment for me. I'm about 5 more subscribers away from that, and that's due for me diversifying my channel a little bit, doing a little bit more different kind of reviews instead of just sticking straight with manga. But manga will always be one of my first loves. And again, now I'm back, and I'm here to bring you guys a fantastic review for Naruto Chapter 621. Now, I'm gonna talk about this episode because it's a battle chapter, but it's not solely a battle chapter. We do get some dialogue in and throughout the battle, but I want to talk about something that's close to everybody's heart in the manga community. It's called Opie. And for those who don't know what OP is, OP stands for overpowered. And it's in most series. I guess some would consider Goku OP, which could be a point that could be made. But, in his series himself, Goku has been beaten. Goku, is not omnipotent. He's not, I would say that Superman is OP. I'm just going to put that out there, but that's going to open up some old wounds, and I'm not really in a position where I'm ready to talk about that anymore. So I'm going to move on from that. But in relation to Naruto, up to this point, the only OP character that, and again, this is me just looking at everything in its totality, was Uchiha Madara. Now, because we never fully realized what Uchiha Madara was capable of doing before he came back as a zombie, it was kind of hard to judge. But once he came back as a Edo Tensei, and he had Hoshirama cells, and he was been able to just wreak havoc across the entire shinobi world, and just his different abilities. I mean, he has the abilities of pain, he had the abilities of Hoshirama, and he has his own abilities. So Uchiha Madara, he was the epitome of OP in relation to the Naruto universe. And on top of that, he's the Edo Tensei, which means that any damage you try to do to him, he can just heal from it. So one would think, how the hell are you supposed to beat him in the first place? So then Chapter 621 came out, and it completely shattered my world. Hoshirama Senju is this dude he's a god. He is, when they say he's the god of the shinobi, where they say he is, the practitioner of jutsu. I mean, they were talking about the, it's kind of hard for me to find words right now because after reading this chapter and seeing what Hoshirama did, it's just kind of hard for me to formulate words right now. Like, Hoshirama is the new epitome of OP, and I guess going against Madara, I should have expected for him to be able to stand toe to toe with him, because he did beat Madara before Madara got the Rinnegan, before he had his own Senju DNA. He had his own formidable abilities, his eternal MS that he got from his brother, and he was strong. So I don't want to downplay Madara's abilities, but up against Senju, Hoshirama, it's ridiculous. So in the chapter, the battle is continuing, and again, keep in mind, people, this is a fight that we've been waiting almost 10 years to see. Like, people don't understand how long it's been since everyone's been wanting to see this fight. Now, I mean, you can go all the way back to part 1, to the point where you first saw the Valley of the End, where Hoshirama and Madara statues were standing there, and you were thinking to yourself, "Oh, this is where the Shinobis fought that many years ago." And in our heads, it was already implanted that this is a fight that we all wanted to see, and it's taken years upon years upon years, in many many flashbacks. And the closest thing we've gotten was in Naruto Generations, the video game, where they actually show a video of their battle. And again, it's probably about 2 to 3 minutes, but it still doesn't really show the magnitude of that fight. And we're actually finally getting it in manga form, and it's, like I said, so far it's not disappointing. It's up to this point, Hoshirama has already brought out his wood dragon, and we already knew he had a wood dragon because Madara has his abilities and has already used the same wood dragon against Naruto. So, but Hoshirama has been able to upgrade that wood dragon to some sort of, I don't even know what it was, like some sort of like statue. And he caught the Biju bomb and was sending it back, and it was like a huge clash, and then created this gigantic explosion. And at the end, Hoshirama and Madara are still toe to toe. And again, Madara at this point has already cloaked the Nine Tails in his Susanoo. So, that's another trick under, Madara's skill. Now, again, if you think about it, it's not that big a deal to think, it's not that big of a stretch to think that Madara could cover something else other than himself in his Susanoo, because, again, it's no different than Gaara covering someone else in his sand, or, Naruto covering someone in his Kyuubi cloak. So, again, it's not a stretch to say that, Madara covering the Nine Tails in his Susanoo isn't a big stretch, which is actually kind of cool if you think about it. And again, the funny thing is how I knew that Hoshirama was so strong, because even when Madara did that, even when Madara fully summoned his Susanoo, I wasn't afraid for, Hoshirama at all. He was running around, and, he was just doing things. And, of course, Madara was taunting him, saying, why are you doing this running? And again, I'm thinking to myself, no, he's not running. He's formulating a plan, because he's a fucking genius, and he's not going to just sit there and be goaded into your kind of fight. And that's exactly what happens. So Madara ends up, and again, Madara has some crazy techniques. He ends up getting the Nine Tails to create a Biju bomb, and actually connects it to one of his Susanoo swords, and throws the Biju bomb mixed with the Susanoo sword at Hoshirama. And then, of course, with quick thinking, Hoshirama bites his hands and summons the giant pillars that Orochimaru used at the beginning of part 2 of the Naruto Shippuden series, when he first went against the Nine-Tailed Fox with Naruto, and summoned that, and it literally deflected the sword Biju bomb attack. And I'm assuming that's what created the Valley of the End, or that attack is what started it. At that point, Hoshirama is trying to talk to Madara, telling him that, hey, why are you doing this? We were friends. And it's he's just trying to plead to him. He said, I don't want to kill you. And Madara was like, as if you could kill me whenever you wanted to. And that kind of fired him up. And again, like I said, he summoned his final form of the Susanoo and is ready to go full blast at Hoshirama. So then, and this is the part of the chapter that literally just like blew my mind. Like, people, like, you don't understand like what happens next, what it implies. So Hoshirama basically says, you leave me no option, and he clips his hand together, forming a seal, and this tattoo starts going on his face. So at this point, I'm like, oh shit, oh shit. I'm geeking out at this point. I'm like, oh shit, let me find out he has his own version. Because at first, the only thing I could really equate this to is his own Sage Mode. Like, I'm thinking, oh my god, Hoshirama has his own Sage Mode. And I'm still thinking that's exactly what it is. It's his form of his Sage Mode. Because what happens is, it's more advanced. He summons a 1,000-hand deity. And for those who don't know what a deity is, it's basically the Japanese version of a god. Over here we had, the Greek gods, we had, Hercules, Mercury, all of those guys. But over in Japan, they have deities as well. And one of their deities, and if I'm not mistaken, funny enough, The thousand hand deity that they have is actually Asura. And if you guys remember the game that came out last year, it was called Asura's Wrath. And that's exactly what he does. Like when he gets angry, his powers increase in his hands. And by the end of the game, he is like a thousand hand deity, basically a god. So essentially Hoshirama summons a god to help him in battle to fight Uchiha Madara. So like I want that to sink in to you guys. Like I'm just gonna give you guys a second. Okay, so just understand now that Hoshirama has summoned a god to help him in battle. So like it doesn't get more OP than that, in my opinion at least. So like just him with this thousand hand deity, it's huge. It's like covering, like in comparison, it's like, what's this? This battery is Madara and his Susanoo with the Nine Tails versus my hand, which is the deity. So like literally they're rushing at each other, and it's like this. Yeah, it's that crazy. It's ridiculous. I guess you can probably tell by my tone off bat. This chapter gets a 5 out of 5, hands down. Probably one of the best chapters of Naruto that I've seen in a couple of weeks, maybe even a month, maybe a month plus. I'm just so impressed with how Hoshirama, how his true powers are, and I would kill to see him in a Naruto Storm game with those full abilities. Oh my god! I'm good. By the way, Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 3 is going to be out in about 2 weeks. I know you guys are going to be you're going to be ready for it just as much as I am. I will be getting it on PlayStation 3 after I beat the game and get my hands on the get used to the game. I'm going to actually put my PlayStation ID out there, so if a couple of you guys who also have Ninja Storm want to play me, we'll do that. I'll set up some tournaments, do things like that. I am also a heavy gamer. If you go back and look at some of my videos, you could clearly see that. But I want to know what you guys think of this chapter. I know this ran a little bit long, but I was so excited. I just wanted to talk about it as much as you can. But I want to know what you guys thought of the chapter. Let me know in the comments section below. Thumbs up for this fantastic 5 out of 5 Naruto chapter, and definitely subscribe. Help me get to that 400 and beyond. This is Shonuff the King, the one and only, the jack of all trades, and the master of them all. Have a good one.